Okay, so I didn't really want to film the video like this because I was trying to do some different techniques with filming this particular video, none of which were actually working, and I couldn't find my phone tripod mount anywhere, so I'm just going to have to work with what I got, so I'm going to have to hold the device while filming this. So if you do see it, actually that hand is not going to look good, so just put it back in the other one. So in this video I wanted to give my experience from what it was like going to a theme park during the global coronavirus pandemic. First of all, to anyone outside of the UK that don't know, theme parks in the UK are allowed to open among other amusement businesses and leisure activities, but only in accordance to certain government guidelines during the coronavirus pandemic. This goes for stuff like social distancing, face coverings in certain areas, or face coverings in general, but it's... Whew. So, I was originally going to keep on the down low. I haven't really made a good start to this, have I? So, I was going to keep on the down low about which theme park I actually visited, but those who are subscribed to me and those who are checking out my channel will probably know that the only one I've got to this year is Flamingo Land. So, it's a bit pointless keeping on the down low, but I just want to say a big thank you to the Flamingo Park staff and the owners behind the park and the general management for the amazing job at keeping everybody safe. There's no flaws in that at all, but where the flaws are in the experience are the people. But in Japan, the general public are just generally terrible people. So, insight. So what can we expect from the coronavirus pandemic? Well, first of all is probably the obvious one, is you have to, those who don't know already, you have to make a pre-booking online if you want to go and visit an amusement park. So they don't sell tickets at the gate. This is basically so they control the numbers of people getting in. So if you want to go to a theme park, you have to buy a online ticket during the pandemic, and if you turn up with no ticket and you think you're buying one at the gate, you will not be allowed in the amusement park at all, and you will not be sold a ticket. So that being said, face coverings in most parks are mandatory. I know for definite that in all indoor areas of any amusement park or theme park, you are going to have face coverings. So if the amusement has like an indoor, like a cafe or a restaurant or an arcade or any other leisure indoor business, then you will have to wear a face covering. So, also the social distancing rules. There are social distancing markers in the queue. So there are markings on the ground which you will have to stick to, but some people just didn't like that, but I'll explain why that was later on. And hand sanitizers. So hand sanitizers are at the front of the entrance gate, so you have to sanitize your hand, and also on some rides, or if not most rides, at the end of the exit. So before you go on a ride, you have to sanitize your hands before riding. Also, the other thing is deep cleaning. So rides in the UK are treated with something called Zuno, which creates a protective film and defends and protects the material and surface against stuff like coronavirus and other bacteria and viruses known to man. So usually this would be a 30-day stuff, but most parks, I would imagine, do this daily, if not all. But, so that's pretty much all there is I have to say on all there is you need to know. But, in terms of the general management of social distancing, Flamingo Land have done an incredible job at it. They've got all the signage, they have got the social distancing markers, even though some of them were a bit faint, but you can still just about see them. Hand sanitizers don't need any flaws in that, but they also have social distancing officers going around the park, so reminding everyone to keep a distance, and it's not been a very good job for them. But when I say that, I mean, in ways, when I say it's not been a very good job for them, it's not been like good for their well-being in terms of how many people they've had to deal with. So they do a really fantastic job of this in general, but it's just people make it very difficult for them, because the thing, because I don't know if you heard about this, but places like Alton Towers or Thorpe Park, they have constant signage, constant social distancing announcements, and yet the general public and most people do not abide to them. And I did actually have a word, keeping a social distance, of course, with the social distancing officer, and I was asking him, does he get this kind of thing a lot, and he said, yeah, all the time, and it's getting really annoying. So I kind of had a good talk with him about what's been happening in the UK scene. It's not really stuff it's stuff that most people know about already, so it's a bit pointless keeping quiet about it, but really, it's a bit of annoying seeing just how the general public are not keeping to these social distancing, but they do need to really. God, I've messed that one up. So anyway, on to the next segment. So in terms of the queues, I really did not have good experiences with the some of the crowds, especially like kids. Kids are the worst for this kind of thing, because I literally had kids right up my back. I was abiding to the social distancing markers, so I was 2 meters apart from the guest ahead of me, and I had a group of kids literally walking right by me. They were just running around, they were just climbing up on the fences, they were like literally right next to me. So I gave facial expressions like of disapproval, so I was hoping that they would read them, but clearly they didn't. So at one point, what I ended up doing was I actually held my hand out like this, asking them like sort of signage. I was like, can you just please maintain a social distance or whatever? And they said something along the lines of, fuck you man, I stand wherever I want, you can't be the boss of me. Something along the lines of that. And that was actually not far from the ride, the actual gate of the ride where they end up loading onto the trains or whatever the hell I was even supposed to be saying that. But really, kids have just been the absolute worst in terms of how they have talked back to me, how they act like that they can do whatever they want, especially during a global pandemic. They act like that they're above the rules. They act like that they don't feel like they should comply to the rules, when really these rules apply to everybody. And to my surprise, on another ride, I had a mother who had his son and his daughter, who was also right up my back on this other ride. So I kind of politely asked them to keep, if they could just maintain their social distance and probably keep their distance like they're asked to. And I got quite the similar response. It was something along the lines of, you're not the boss of me, we stand wherever we want. Yeah, so it's just not being that pleasant, because I just thought, whew. So, unlike what I may have mentioned in my other video, I did actually confront these people face to face with these actions, and it just wasn't pleasant. I did actually let people like park staff know about this, and they said that they were going to deal with the matter, and I don't exactly know where this kind of thing is going to go, but really people, most notably the general public, do know how to make it an unpleasant experience during a global pandemic. Like, we're in a global pandemic, like, we have signage everywhere, and you have the audacity to tell me, or anybody like park staff, that you do whatever you want. It's just not wrong. It's just wrong. I'm absolutely lost for words at this point. I mean, regardless of whatever park you go to, you are obviously going to get these kinds of people. Like, I know Alton Towers got a lot of them, I know Fort Park have got a lot of them. But it's people just, I know I've probably said this already at some point in this video, but the general public, well, I don't want to say the general public, because it's like I'm demonising the entire GP, but certain people in the general public do really know how to just make this whole thing unpleasant. And to quote from IT Crowd, people, what a bunch of bastards. Which I actually kind of said that to the social distancing officer, and he said, well, we can't really say that, can we? I was like, I mean, you wish you could. I mean, in fairness, if you were a social distancing officer and you saw all these people, you wish you could say stuff like that. But I honestly think now, this is as far as I can go with this video. So I'm just going to leave it there. With regards to where else I'm going to go, I am hoping to get to Alton Towers some point this October. If I do have any iffy experiences there, then it could be for another video, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, stay safe, stay well, and if you are going to visit a theme park, please abide by the social distancing rules and hold people accountable who aren't abiding the social distancing rules. That's all I have to say, and thank you.